Hi everybody. We just finished up another Voting Yogis, and if you don't know, Voting Yogis is a weekly yoga class that taps into the wisdom of yoga philosophy and applies that wisdom to modern day campaigns and politics. And so its purpose really is to support people who are engaged in this election cycle, whether it's as a volunteer, a candidate, a staff person, and to help create a deeper and more meaningful connection to the work that they're already doing. If you are more into yoga, we create really good opportunities to connect with elected officials and great organizations who are doing awesome work this election cycle. So today we were super happy to have Jonathan Weinsaffel, candidate for Indiana Attorney General, join us for Voting Yogis, and he'll have a huge umbrella of responsibilities once elected, but one area of those responsibilities has to do with consumer protection, which is kind of what inspired my theme for this class, which is the Yama Asteya. And Asteya is all the yamas essentially are parts of an ethical guideline to live a yogic lifestyle, and Asteya means essentially non-stealing. That is one of the yamas, kind of like ahimsa, non-harming. That's easy to say, hey, I didn't steal anything today, I'm gold star, I'm doing good on this one. But it's actually a lot more complicated than that, and a lot much more of a balance that we kind of have to constantly find in ourselves. So yes, Asteya, would apply to not, stealing physical things. It also extends to ideas, to credit, but even further than that, it can apply to alleviating even the will to steal or the will to have what somebody else has. And that can be translated into envy, into jealousy, into greed. And so that's why it is a little bit more complicated in our practice, trying to get, especially in this kind of culture of constantly looking at Instagram and stories. How do we not want what other people have? Well, the answer to that was in another one of our yoga Voting Yogis, and essentially that's our dharma, being able to really understand that other people are on a different path that you're on, but beyond just them being on a different path, just remaining really grateful for the path that you're on, and having just a true belief in abundance, and that whatever it is that they're doing, you have everything. You are enough exactly as you are, and you have everything that you need right inside of you to be able to do whatever it is that your dharma entails, whatever your path, whatever your mission is in this life. And so essentially from that version, there's no need to compare. So the opposite of envy, the opposite of jealousy would be to really have an abundance mindset, and to have gratitude for everything that you do have gratitude for the path that you're on, and even more, having gratitude for the exact place where you are right now, and for being exactly who you are right at this moment. So that's definitely one of those things that's easier than said and done. I run into issues with that often. But going back into comparing this into politics, there's a couple easy when it comes to non-stealing. I mean, so non-stealing, you don't steal yard signs, you don't steal off opponents' literature. Those are a couple low-hanging, easy fruit, but it does happen in politics. There's a story on it about every year. But going beyond that, even how politics, working in it, even on the same team, can be such a competitive place, and kind of you often see what other people are doing, what other people are getting, and wanting that. So just like we said before, being content, maybe not even just content with what you have, but content with where you are right at this very moment, being able to believe that there's enough in the world that you will have what you need. And, while I'm on that note, I also want to mention that this is an area where a lot of spiritual bypassing can take place. People might tend not to recognize the world's need to, work on Asteya, to find our balance in Asteya, and may dismiss the struggles that people may have had due to race, due to socioeconomic status, and just say, oh, you just need to be more grateful for what you have. I mean, so the fact that there is, this concept of Asteya also applies to non-greed. It also applies to, really finding that balance. So making sure that we aren't taking more than we need, and, as a collective, that there aren't people taking more than they need, and we know that that's not the case right now, and that until that's balanced, there's going to be people who don't have enough. We can't turn on them saying, oh, you need to visualize it. So just kind of a caveat there for any spiritual bypassing that may kind of fall into this trap. But really just focusing on ourselves, being grateful for who we are, believing that we are exactly where we're supposed to be, and also just kind of moving into another area of Asteya is time, and really respecting, not stealing time from ourselves, not giving ourselves the time we need to do things that are the most important to us, maybe saying yes to obligations that prevent us from really living a life that is supportive, and happy. So that also kind of leads into another example of how we can practice Asteya, which is, by being aware of our own time, of our own obligations, of what we want to do, would be to not sign up for something and then, space on it later. In politics, we've got a saying called a flake rate, and that essentially is a presumed number of volunteers that said they were going to show up and then didn't show up. So, when you do that, then you're stealing time from other people too. They have to find another volunteer, someone else to do the work that you had committed to do. So by practicing Asteya, with ourselves, and not taking a time away from the things that are meaningful to us, we also can practice Asteya by not overcommitting or making commitments that we can't keep. So those are just a few examples. There's countless, especially when you come into thinking more about just avoiding jealousy, living in abundance. There's so much to say on that, but we're going to stick with this. And knowing my own limits, since this is after our other yoga class, we're just going to go through a couple of breathing exercises today. Really just one breathing exercise, one main one. So we're just going to start here with our hands on our knees. We want to find alignment through our hips and our shoulders, and if you feel more comfortable, you can grab a chair. Just have your nice flat back and your feet planted on the floor, and we'll just, even if it's just the edge of your couch, we're just going to close our eyes and start to tune into our breath. We're not going to make any changes to our breath at first. We're just going to really be present and notice what's here. Notice how we feel. Is our heart racing? Is our breath shallow? Is it hurried? Knowing that none of it is good or bad, it just all is what it is. And then we're going to start to deepen our inhale and deepen our exhale, extend our exhale. So as we breathe in, we want to breathe to maybe a count of 4 or 5. And then exhale through our nose to that same count, 4 or 5. Breathing in through your nose to a count of 4. Exhaling to a count of 4. Breathing in, noticing the air as it moves in through your body, the expansion of your chest. Breathing out through your nose, noticing the warmth of the air as it comes out of your nostrils. And just gently opening up our eyes, noticing where we are, noticing if it's different than we were before. And the next breath that we're going to do is called 4-7-8, and this is something that is really good to do before bed. It can make you a little sleepy. It's just kind of a very calming breath, and so it has 4 count inhale, a 7 count hold, and an 8 count exhale. So your exhale is twice as long as your inhale, and I'm going to walk us through this about 4 times. So just, you can keep your eyes open, you can keep your eyes closed, just follow along with me. As we inhale, we're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now release that breath. Come back to your natural breath. Notice how you feel just in this very moment. Notice how your body feels. And we're just going to close this practice today. Once again, closing our eyes, returning to that matching breath, breathing in through our nose and out through our nose. Just spending a moment reminding ourselves that I am enough. I have everything I need right now. Thanks for practicing. We'll see you next week. Bye.